Let's begin now. 360.
Oh, I'm so excited for my friends to come to tea. Come on in.
Bonjour, Lady
Hi,
Marie.
Hugo. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Sit down, sit down. Renee!
Marie, my darling. Mwah.
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 Come on in.
Oh, you look good.
Thank you, you too. Oh, Vincent!
Hello. Sorry, excuse my dress. I just came from work.
Oh, you have some ashes on your
Oh,
face.
please. Oh, I am so sorry.
It's okay. Sit down. Have some tea. Oh, how I miss Louie. He was such a dear friend.
I don't. I was fed up with those taxes.
Me too. Those inflation prices were ridiculous.
He held the greatest parties, though. Don't you miss him, Hugo?
Indeed, he was a very good ruler.
Yeah, I always came to your church.
You know, those bread prices, my family and we were so fed up with that king. He was the worst king I think we've ever had.
Remind me to send home a cake with you.
Oh, we would lovely be accepted.
Alright, well, see, this one time I was going into town, and Mr. Capo was buying me a lovely dress. But the problem was, well, I came into a mob. It was awful. They were at these gates, and it was ridiculous. We had to tell the driver to go another way, but they were yelling and rioting, and it was so scary. It was awful.
You know, my sons and I, we might have been in that mob. We were very active in the revolution. We rioted all the time.
That's crazy.
You know, it was not fair to us peasants, and we were suffering while you richer folk got to party, and we were tired of it.
I'm sorry. Well, another thing was that apparently Louis had locked you out. He locked you out. That's crazy.
Yeah. Marie, I was reading in one of your magazines the other day about the tennis court oath, and I'm just so proud of that, so happy.
Oh, here, me too.
Ridiculous. Hugo and I hate it. It's so dumb. I mean, it's always been first estate, second estate, third estate.
Mm-hmm. The third estate needs to learn their place in society.
Uh,
I agree.
Oh, we disagree.
We need a voice.
Yes, and now that we have taken over and we have gotten ourselves some say, things really look like they're going to be okay.
That's so unlike how the rest of history has been, though.
It is time for a change.
But it's
I agree.
We have our place in society.
Yes, it's only fair that the first estate gets a vote, the second estate gets a vote, and the third estate gets a vote.
I agree. That's crazy. And now you have all these rights. Those have never been there.
But we are the majority, and we should have a fair say, if not a greater say.
Except now, Hugo has friends that are out of jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's Catholic anymore. It's terrible.
You know, the Declaration of the Rights of Men, how that said religious freedom, I am very for that. I think it's great that people are now able to practice their religion freely.
And we have a voice and freedom of speech, and why shouldn't we have had that before?
Those are all the reasons why I moved to Austria. I had to get out of there. It was crazy.
Too bad we beat them in war.
They accepted me. I loved it. Austria is a gorgeous country. And you know, we crossed the border and everything was okay. I raised my children there, but we eventually came back. But we had to leave because of all those crazy Jacobins.
You know, my son fought in that war. He fought in those terrible conditions when Paris looked like they were going to go under and France was going to lose. He went out there and he fought and he helped us win.
I would be proud if I were you.
Cookies, anyone?
Oh, please. I hadn't had bread in a long time.
I'm so sorry.
Merci beaucoup. Merci.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
So those Jacobins, you know, my people, what did you guys think of that reign of terror?
It was awful. It should have never, ever happened. No great society has that.
Indeed. My fellow Catholic bishops who have fled the country, the village of being attacked by the Jacobins.
Very frightening time.
It was terrible. They killed everyone. So unholy.
Indeed.
It was crazy.
My sons were very frightened.
That was why we fled to Austria. That's
You don't
exactly
say.
why. It was terrible. We fled in one night, and then we go to Austria, and we kept on hearing news of all these killings and people getting their heads cut off.
Horrible.
It was awful.
It's for a good reason. The radicals had. I don't know.
Nuh-uh, that's crazy. No one should ever have a good reason for killing that many people, even if it's in safety for everyone.
You know what? I agree with you on that one.
Yes, very unholy, ungodly.
It was just frightening. It was frightening. I was scared for my friends that didn't make it out of Paris. Slow down on the crackers. It's okay, there's plenty.
You know what? I am tired of this derogatory treatment. This is just because I am of lower class than you does not mean I deserve such
No need for an outbreak!
Ah, typical pet.
That was
Such
very
a pleasant
uncalled for. You don't know what her family
She
is
was-
going through.
She was stuffing her face. It was ridiculous.
Yes, you invited it into her house, and she just treats you like this.
Will you?
Terrible.
Should I apologize?
You should definitely apologize.
Victor, I'm really sorry. Come on back. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have made such a rude comment.
You know what? It wasn't your fault. I've come to think that maybe I was just jealous of you during all this time. Bishop, please forgive me.
Yes, God blesses you.
Good. This is good. Okay. I'm glad we went through this. You know, I'll send you home with some cake and bread and make sure your family's all right. How's the wife?
Oh, she's doing much better now that the revolution's over.
Good. And how's your husband?
He's good.
Has he found a job yet?
Not yet, but we're still, trying to pull through.
Still hanging on? Good.
Yep.
You know, how's your house? How's your estate?
Oh, it's magnificent.
Good.
Very holy.
I've always loved your house. I'm so glad that the Jacobins are done. You know, finally I've been able to move back from Austria. I liked it there, but France is home. France is home.
Indeed.
And you know, my oldest son, he has just joined the new army.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
You must be scared.
I'm a little, I do not get scared.
Really?
Really. But he's very excited to be a part of it.
He fights for God,
Yeah.
so
Yes, he does.
he's in good hands.
He is. Well, there's this promising young there was, you guys know of him, Napoleon, right? Oh, when my friends and I heard about him, we were like, oh my gosh, he was such a promising young military man. We were all so excited.
Yes, such a magnificent ruler. I just wish he was Catholic.
My son was a huge fan of him. Yes.
You know, actually, when we came on trips to visit Napoleon in his house, he built us a chapel just for that reason. He's not Catholic, but we are. We're heavily Catholic. So he built us a chapel.
Mm.
Yes, he does believe in religious freedom.
Mm-hmm. You're Protestant, right?
Yes, so I can freely express my beliefs now.
That's great. That's great. But it got to a point where it was just insane.
I agree.
He invited us to all these parties, and we gave him money because, he invited us to our party, so we'll be kind to give him money back for his treasury. But it was just such a waste in the end.
You know, my son was more of a fan of him because of his military successes and his fierce ferociousness on the battlefield. Very
sure.
impressive work.
He never invited women to his parties, though. I was always left at home. I didn't like that about him. Thank you.
But he wanted too much power, poor old guy.
Yeah,
Just went downhill from there.
it really did. All his money was gone, and we were left in exactly what we tried to fight for the revolution. We were poor. Well, I was never poor. I was only slightly poorer. But I'm sure you found food.
Barely.
You were okay. You came to my house.
Yeah.
Beautiful painting.
Oh, thank you. I had it specially done for my son. He loves that kind of thing. Oh, would you guys like more to eat? I have more.
Yes,
Maurice, serve me my nuts on a silver platter.
Thank you, good sir. Merci.
Help yourself, guys. Help yourself. Just put the wine right there.
I'm so happy that Napoleon has finally made peace with the church.
Yes.
Me too. It's great for the Catholicism.
And I love that Napoleonic code because now my husband can get a job based on his skills.
I think it's just a hassle. I can't go to any parties, but it's not really a big deal.
I am so glad that feudalism is finally abolished.
I'm sure. It must be great for you.
It is great.
I know, I just wish they just didn't have a religious toleration that Catholicism was enforced upon the people.
More people need to be Catholic. I agree.
Yes.
You're Protestant, aren't you?
I am.
You like this toleration, right?
I do.
This revolution, I must say, I really am a supporter of it all.
It has its moments. I mean, that's why I left for Austria, but, you know, I'm glad that I'm home now because home is safe and home is France.
No, I'd have to agree with you because now we are all equal.
Mm-hmm. Hear, hear.
Only sometimes.
Is that an authentic 15th century cross?
Oh, yes, it is. It's made of pure gold. You see the inscription there? It means one with God.
Oh.
I'm dearly sorry I can't serve you guys tea. Britain has been completely cut off. Such a hassle.
Yes, my nephew, he works in the trade business and he has just gone broke.
Oh, I'm sure that's terrible. It wasn't a very smart move.
But you know, I must admit that this continental system, it isn't good, but it is very genius. Very good idea.
Economic warfare. So that's what my husband says.
But you know, since now I've really been feeling the love towards France. I really do
It's
love
a
my
great country.
Yes.
I mean, I think the Russian war was the downfall of him, but also, you know, it brought us all together. You know, exiling him. I think it was good for us.
You know, speaking of the war with Russia, my nephew did just pass away.
I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's a
I didn't mean to.
At least he's with God now.
thank you for your blessing, and he froze to death in that harsh winter.
Bless his heart. Fighting for France. You know, I really found a love of this country.
Me
Yes.
too.
Mm-hmm.
It is a great country.
France.
France.
You know, Napoleon was a very good ruler, but all leaders do need to come to an end, and maybe this final defeat was for the best.
I think it was.
Yes. No one man can live forever.
Oh,
Well
look at
said.
look at the time.
Oh, yes, I have a sermon to give in 20 minutes.
Oh,
Well, you might want to head off.
Yes, I must be off.
Au revoir, Hugo.
Oh,
I have to
wow.
go. I have to go too.
Au revoir, Renee.
Au revoir. Salut.
Bye, Renee.
Au revoir.
Tell your husband hello.
I will.
Great.
Merci.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for the.
You're very welcome. Bye.
Radio killer.